What is going on? We're live.
Hey,
We
everybody.
are live.
We
Is
are.
everything working? Is everything working?
I
I
think
think so.
so. Looks like it's working. Okay.
That's right. We're
All
here.
right.
Hopefully people come through. Everything's on the table right now. We have no topics to talk about except well, that's not true. We have a few things to talk about. But like
I'm
always,
sure.
this is your show. You want to come through live, you want to ask us some questions, make it your show, ask us whatever you want. Why is
Yeah.
my hair so unkempt and long? Why, Keith, you're going back to the beard. I love it. I got to tell you, a bearded Keith is a handsome Keith.
Thank you. So you don't like the what is it? The Van Dyke?
What is that?
When it's just this, right? And
Oh, no, I think you look really good with a full beard.
full beard. Okay.
And I would do it even a little bit long. Keep it trimmed, but like longer.
Yeah.
That's just me. I'm not a big fan of like the goatee or the
Yeah.
like no. But look it, you're not here to impress me. You don't
Right.
have to sleep next to me. That's fine.
My thing is I don't like shaving, so that's why
Well,
even when I do the goatee for a little while, you know
yeah.
that eventually within a month it's going to just be back to being a full beard again because I don't like shaving, so
Yeah, well,
it'll always come back.
I mean, I'm a Malakoi, so
That's right.
I'm in a different I don't like shaving either, but I'm not great at growing facial hair, right? So I don't keep my ancestors impressed with me. I don't represent because I'm Italian, Portuguese, Middle East. Like you would think, like
You
I
should have a lot of hair.
nothing. Not I like I'm an anomaly. I don't know what happened genetically. I'm not sure what's
Mm,
going on up there. Yeah.
that is strange. Yes.
We got some people coming in. Doa Deer, hello from Idaho. Yes, what's up? Hello,
Hello.
Keith and Matt. Desi, what's good? Lisa, hey guys. Hi, Lisa from Georgia.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Hello.
Yeah,
Hello. Yes. Several people, by the way, this week have purchased signed copies of Reading Romans. So thank you. Those are in the
beautiful.
mail. There's one of them I got yesterday that'll go in the mail tomorrow.
Hey, shout out to Katie McCrite.
Yes.
She found like 20 edits, so I've got a few edits. Like,
Oh, damn.
well, they're very, very minimal. Like they're
Okay.
very minimal, but I was impressed by the attention to detail of Katie McCrite. So
She's one of the
shout
best.
out to her.
You
Like
need an
they're
editor.
yeah, if you need an editor, I mean, if Keith, if you need an editor,
Here's what's
no,
funny,
they're good.
actually. I kind of don't want other people to go pursue her as an editor because she's been doing some things for choir.
I feel like I need her.
Yes,
Yeah,
she's great.
so the book's coming out, but like there'll be the first day. You might get a copy with a few, like there's a very minimal oddities, but then after that, those will be gone. Doesn't change the book at all. I'm very excited that it's coming out in a couple days. Honored to have written a book with you, Keith. I don't know what
Yes,
the future holds in America, but we did something. We
we
did
did.
something together yet
Yes,
again.
it may be one of the last things we ever do, but
Who knows?
let's hope not.
Day at a time, right?
Yes, exactly. Although I do have a book. I do have another book that's in. I think you're doing the internals right now.
I think I
Uh,
am.
hopefully by May, if there's still a country by May, if we're not living
Hopefully
uh,
hopefully
under
by
his
May.
eye.
I think so. If you notice my name of Lindsay, I'm trying to flip the script.
There you go. Of
I'm
Lindsay.
trying to
I'll be of
I'm trying
Wendy.
to flip the script. You have Wendy, yeah.
I'm of Wendy.
Mhm. If you know, you know. That final season's coming out in like I can't believe what is like I have to go through season 2 of The Last of Us and the final season of The Handmaid's Tale in April. Both come out in April.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Well,
Got to endure it. I mean,
yeah. I don't
yeah.
know, man. I just don't know. I keep every day, every day there's some new thing like, what? We're doing what?
Oh yeah.
Thank God for judges because there are a handful of judges out there that are standing up because right now they're the only ones standing up, not Chuck Schumer, not
Oh no, I mean, Democrats are little fucking
they're the worst, man.
babies, man. Y'all are babies. Y'all
Yeah.
are scared. No,
Do
you
you not
fucking don't.
understand what an opposition party should do?
Democrats don't have what it takes to stand up like a real one, like in the face of fascism, in the face of oppression. You'll be the first. They'll be the first to fold, which they did or have a lot of them.
Yes. And that's what's so disappointing is the how people have just rolled over.
Roll over, take it.
See, what I'm really afraid of, I like there was a news last week that Trump is going to go after, the press. He's going to go after NPR. He's going to go after, and what I'm afraid of is they're all just going to roll over. Like I'm waiting to see where is the newspaper, the news outlet, the media agency that will stand up and say, no, we are protected by the First Amendment. We did nothing wrong. Our job is to tell the truth. Our job is to ask questions. Our job is to challenge authority and bring it on. You want to take us to court? You want to file charges against us? Bring it on. We haven't seen that yet. I've not seen anyone yet.
Lisa says, surviving so much CPTSD, I barely made it through the first season. I've been trying to since 2018, actually. First season of what? Gilead? I mean, if
Yeah,
it's Handmaid's Tale, I get it. Like that one's that one's tough. The first season of Trump America, that one was tough. The second season's much worse.
second season is way worse.
It
Oh
goes
yes.
way fucking off the rails. Yeah, Handmaids. Yeah, I
Handmaids.
get that. I was just talking to a friend of mine yesterday. They came over, some good friends of ours. And my friend, who's the husband of our other friend, he's watching The Handmaid's Tale now by himself, and his
Yeah.
wife is not.
No, I'm
And
telling
I
you,
was
Wendy
like,
will watch it. We watched it together, up until I think the most recent season,
mhm,
and then she was just like, "This is too real. This is
it's
too."
too. I
It
get
doesn't
it.
feel like
Like
fantasy. It feels like I want to escape this, right? I don't want to watch hours of something that's telling me how bad it's gonna
that's
get.
an interesting. Like some people do that. I feel like I'm weird. Like I'm not normal. Like I lean into like the most. I was just realizing this week. I don't know if we've talked about it yet. I was realizing this week that every one of my favorite stories is like the most gut-wrenching, horrific fucking thing like The Last of Us,
Mm.
Red Dead Redemption, fucking
Yeah.
Ozark,
Yeah,
Breaking
Ozark,
like every nothing
Breaking
ends
Bad.
with like a happy like it's not a happy ending. None of my
No.
stories, even Lord of the Rings, Frodo leaves and I cry every fucking time. Like
Yeah, yeah.
nothing is happy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
You're just a realist, my friend.
I
I
don't know what
understand
I
that.
am.
I understand.
I'm gonna die in my 60s. I'll put money on that.
No, but I like all those things too. Like I loved Ozark, even though it was dark, you know what I mean?
Ozark, yeah, I
But it's
loved
real.
Ozark,
It's realistic. So
but
I appreciate things like that.
all your favorite characters just fucking get wasted in the end.
Yeah. No,
It's
I do
horrifying.
like that.
Let's see what comments are pouring in. Desi, I'm terrified of watching Handmaids. That is just from what I have heard about it. Yeah, it's tough, especially
It is.
if you've been assaulted, if you've
Yeah.
been SA'd, if you've been R word. I don't even want to say it because some people even get triggered by that, and that's hey, and it's tough. It's not for everyone. I will say those of us who can watch it and get through it, it's the greatest storytelling I've seen. It's
Yeah.
brilliant acting. It's as good of a show that you could create. It's just it's terribly difficult.
Right. I mean, especially the first couple of seasons because the main character and the other handmaids, you see just how
It's
abused and
brutal.
exploited they are and how horrible it is. And even when there's little moments where you think, "Oh, this is kinda normal. This person's my friend. I can trust this person." Then all of a sudden something happens and it's like, "Nope, can't
It's
trust
not
them. Nope,
yeah.
that was all an act, right? This isn't real." Reality is very harsh, you know?
Yeah. So I
Um,
get it, but I'm like weirdly excited for the final season.
yeah,
And I'm weirdly excited for The Last of Us Part 2, even though I know, no spoilers, I know playing the game, I won't play The Last of Us Part 2 again yet.
yeah.
I
It's
will
bad. It's
eventually.
hard.
It's
It's not
diff
bad, it's
and
just
it's not
difficult.
bad. I get why people hated it, but at the same time, I was like, "But tell a better story." You
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
But it's horrifying.
So can
But
I
I feel
ask you
like
something about
yeah, yeah.
the
Yeah, yeah.
last is this is kind of a I have conversations with my kids about this, right? So they both play the game, they know the story.
Uh-huh.
And hopefully this isn't too spoilery. I'll try to keep it
Try
general.
not to.
But Joel is the guy, right? He's the guy that's
Mhm.
well, okay.
Yeah.
Um I feel like what he does at the end of the first game
Mhm.
is completely understandable, and I don't think he's a bad person.
I don't think he's a bad person for that. I think what it get no, I get it, and there's a lot of layers to that.
Yes, of
Like, there's a
course.
lot of layers to what he did. On the
Because
other
of his
side, the
own
last
story. Yeah.
because of his own story with his own
Yeah.
daughter. In the
Yeah.
first 10 minutes of the game, you're like I just got my friend who had no spoilers, did not kn he's a gamer and started playing it, and then I was like, "Okay," he sent me a screenshot of the start screen. I was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus, just beware." Like, within 10 minutes, I was getting a text. I was like, "I was waiting for this." He was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Hey, man, I I told you."
Yeah.
And because of Joel's own story, like, I totally get it, and I would be the same way.
Yeah.
I think what part 2 gets you to realize is that all like it's impossible to parse out the good guys and the bad guys when it comes to some of these stories,
No, that's I appreciate that too,
and that's
actually. I because
uncomfortable.
that's the realism, right? Well, there's no this whole idea of like these super, all the good guys are so good and the bad guys are so evil, like
Mhm.
I don't like that. I really do like that's what we talked about this last time. Like I like in the second Last of Us that halfway through they flip it and now you have to play who you think is the bad guy.
Dude,
And at first you're like, I don't want to
yeah.
save this person. Let him get
Fuck
shot.
this.
Let me the death screen, right? I want to jump off the cliff and or walk in and just watch her getting eaten alive by these things, right? Because I don't
Yeah,
like this character. But the more you play it, the more you can't help but identify with this character. And then more of the
right.
story, the backstory comes in. And by the
It's
end of it,
tough.
you're like, I don't hate this person. I don't want this person to die. But at the same time, they both characters have these different well, basically both of their goals is to kill each other.
Right.
And you don't want either one of them to get what they think they
No,
want, right? Because
no,
it's not going to make them happy, and you don't want either one to die.
no. I literally put down the controller on the last scene that you play, like,
Yeah.
in real like, I
It's
put
I
down the
can't do that.
controller at the end of it, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like and some people are like, "Oh, I hate Ellie and this and that." I'm like, "No, you gotta understand trauma." I'm almost happy if there's no Last of Us 3. I don't know if I could handle, like, if
Yeah.
Ellie died or something. I don't know if I can
Yeah.
handle it,
Yeah.
honest as a character.
I
Um,
think if they do a third one, it have such a happy ending. It should be just like so wonderful.
I don't know if it would.
Reward
That's the
us
thing
for all the
because
trauma we've
when you create a world like The Last of Us, you don't put the characters at the you know what I mean? Like, you don't put the character story at the forefront of the world. The world's still the world. And
yeah,
just because you're a beloved character does not mean you're getting a glorified death, does not mean you're getting
no,
a happy ending, anything. And that's part of
right.
the critique of Last of Us 2, which is warranted, but at the same time, it's not. Like, The Last of Us 2 proves that, like, when you live in this world, you could create yourself as a hero or a villain or whatever, and
That's right.
it doesn't give a fuck.
That's right.
You could walk out and just get blown away tomorrow by some crazy like, it doesn't
Yeah. Yeah.
that could be your story, and it's not a great like, it's not a happy story, it's not doesn't make a great novel, doesn't you
Yeah.
don't ride off into
Mm-mm.
any sunset.
No, exactly. No, and
That's
I
how
do
life
appreciate that.
sometimes
Yeah.
ends.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
do appreciate that.
yeah.
The realistic stuff. That's why also like as a writer, when I would write fiction, I don't do this much as much anymore, but when I was in college and stuff and I would write short stories or fiction or things like that, I kind of enjoyed like running my hero through the gauntlet, like just having the worst shit possible happen to them and have them deal
Mm.
with it. Right? Because I didn't want it to be easy. I didn't want it to be to me that's just yeah, it's a little
Yeah,
cheesy to me. It's a
I
little too
think
easy.
I think I think a story like The Last of Us shows you, we've, I think about, like, my early books and about, like, violence and retribution and things like that, and how you respond in certain situation as let's say you're a Christian or a Jesus follower, whatever, all the things. We say all the things from our computer. And then like the first 10 minutes of The Last of Us is like, yeah, but what if your daughter gets blown away in front of you
Yeah.
and you watch her die?
Yeah.
Who are you then? And then it's like, oh my God, like that is a different question
Mhm.
entirely.
Mhm.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
then those questions, like it's like, okay, we need I think we really need like a reflection on like our worldviews and what we think about the world really needs to be informed by real world, like real practical, like lived
Yeah.
experiences and not
Yeah.
from an Ivy. That doesn't mean go on a vengeance tour because Last of Us 2 teaches us what that looks like too.
Yeah.
Yeah. John's got a great comment, and I know that we're missing some comments, but that's cool. Um, empathy is messy. It's difficult to hate when you dive deep into the story. Yeah, empathy is messy.
Yes.
And
Yes.
contrary to modern Christianity, it's not a sin.
No, it's not. It's what makes us human.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I have a surprise for you.
Oh yeah, you told me there was a surprise, so I'm waiting for my surprise.
And
Am I gonna like
actually
it?
I hope
It's a good
so.
surprise?
We have a sponsor.
Oh, wow! On a Sunday
No,
show too.
like a real sponsor, guys.
Okay. Well, that's great.
I don't know if you've heard this before.
Funky Faith Flavor presents Faith Jams, a Christ-infused hippity-hip-hop album by artists like JC Homie, Big Paul, Lil Paul, Amos and the Funky Bunch, and super duo Mo and Zez. With tracks like Big Ups Church, you'll be tapping your toe for the Lord in no time. Big Ups Church, Big Ups Church, Big Ups Church, and watch the devil fall. Big Ups Church, Big Ups Church, Big Ups Church, and watch the devil fall. And who can forget this banger? Gangster for God. I'm a gangster. I'm a gangster for God. I don't know what you heard, but it's probably wrong. Yeah, I'm a gangster. I'm a gangster for God. I don't know what you heard, but it's probably wrong. Order now at www.faithjams.com. That's faithjams with a Z.com, and use the promo code Gangsta for God. That's GANGSTA, the number 4, GOD, and you'll get free shipping to anywhere in the United States. Stay funky, church.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I've really missed that's one of my favorite ones. What I love about it is it's not just a parody of an ad for cheesy Christian rap, hip hop, whatever. It's that you actually wrote the songs and recorded the little clips, and they're good songs. I mean, they get. I promise you, those songs will be stuck in your head. I'm a
They're
gangster.
they're good
Gangster.
they're good songs for the context that they're in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know. Yeah, they're not good songs in
Right.
of themselves, but for the parody, they're great.
I think my favorite thing that one of my favorite things that I ever written is I don't know you heard, but it's probably wrong. The fact that it doesn't rhyme is but it like tries to rhyme is like so perfectly on point for like what Christian rap would
Yes,
do. Like
yes. Oh, it's so great. Oh
yeah.
man, thank
And
you.
that
Thank
and Gangster for God does get stuck in your head.
yeah, I'm a
I was
gangster.
trying not to like before we got on the air, I was trying not to sing it so that you would not know that that's a surprise because
Okay.
I didn't want to tip my hand because it was so stuck in my head.
Oh, there you go. Well, all everyone who has been asking for us to bring back the sponsors, there you go. That's one of my favorite ones.
Yeah, I feel like that's back in the days where I had more time on my hands.
Yeah, it took. Yeah, that would have taken a lot of time.
It did. It like just doing something like that probably took like I don't remember, definitely over an hour, couple hours
Right.
maybe,
Yeah.
just to do
Big
something
ups, church.
stupid like
Big ups, church. Big ups, church. And watch the
yeah.
devil.
As silly and stupid as it is, there's like 8 vocal tracks on that.
Yeah, I
It's
doubt we're
so
ever going
funny.
to get to that level again.
I don't
Um,
know. I just don't have time to make that, but that was one of my favorite ones to ever make.
Thank you. And that was my request of me. I had requested to bring that one back specifically because I really love it a lot.
Yeah, yeah. So there's your sponsor for today. Go support them if you want to hook up, you know. Use that promo code.
Yeah, use that promo
Uh,
code. Pick up that Gangsters for God.
Gangster for God.
Yeah,
I don't know what you've heard, but it's probably
it's probably
wrong.
wrong. It's probably wrong. Now, what is the context of that? I don't know what you heard, but it's
No
probably
idea. I don't
it's just
remember.
stupid.
So dumb.
I'm a gangster for
Uh,
God, and I don't
I
know
don't.
what you heard, but it's probably wrong.
Doesn't
I
have to
don't
make sense.
understand.
It
What does
doesn't.
that have
You
to
know,
do with anything?
it doesn't have anything to do with anything. Kind of
That's
like the sponsors of this show.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's
So,
silly.
and we do have a hotline. That's our other announcement today. Is 530-332-8020. You want to call? You want to text? We can certainly get to that on Friday's bonus show.
That's right. And we have a really good episode coming up on Tuesday. Danny Bryant, DT Bryant, author of Unless the Seed Falls to the Ground, really great book about the whiteness gospel, and Doug Paget. And we had a really good conversation.
Yeah, we did.
So it'll be on
We got a
Tuesday.
good question here. We got a long one here from John Suarez. Let's see. I am
Lots of reading.
actually lots of reading here. My goodness. Do I need my glasses? John Suarez says, I am actually processing something about empathy and salvation, and it goes something like this. It goes a little something like this. Salvation reveals God's unconditional love through compassion, mercy, and empathy. But if we look closer, empathy is its deepest, most profound expression. Compassion can be extended from afar. Mercy can be granted from above, but empathy compels God to intimately enter into our trance-like illusion of separateness and forgetfulness.
Well, that's pretty good.
John, I think you need to start writing more, and
Actually,
maybe write a book.
John, I think John has sent me a book. Actually, I sent Choir a book,
Oh Jesus!
and I think we might publish it. So
You think we might?
I think we just might. I did send you an email, John. I'm not sure you saw it, but I haven't gotten a response from you yet about that book.
I think that's I mean, that's an interesting thing. Like empathy, yeah, we have to. I mean, to have empathy, we need to kind of like share in people's lived experiences, right? Like in
Yeah.
whatever way we can. We have to kind of put our self in their shoes. We have to like listen to them and maybe experience something with them. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Compassion can sometimes be almost like, oh, poor thing. I'm so sorry. Right. There can be some distance in compassion. And I like, the thing about mercy. Yes, mercy, you get the picture of like a king or a judge, like having mercy on this person who's
Mm-hmm.
committed a crime or done something wrong. And okay, I'll give you a pardon. I'll give you mercy. But empathy, yeah, it is much more like you're down there with that person. You're in there with them.
You're in the trenches. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of getting down in the mud with them. And then, then you really truly, as much as possible, feel what they feel, understand what they're going through. There's more of a connection with empathy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like that. Trying to get back to some of these comments here. Doa Deer says, I think dwelling on possible happy endings may give us a better self-fulfilling prophecy. That's important to be balanced, I mean, and look, just because like a story has a difficult ending doesn't mean it's not. Happiness is even kind of messy. Like
Yeah.
is the ending to the Return of the King happy? Well, I mean, Frodo leaves and everyone's sad, but like Sam goes back to his family and he goes back to Bag End and he lives his life the way he wants and is
Yeah.
engaged with his community and restores his community. And
Yeah, it's kind of happy.
so happiness is messy too. It's like bittersweet. Like sometimes
Yeah.
you can, and maybe happiness is the wrong word. Like, I mean, I almost feel like you could be content without necessarily being happy. You could be joyous without necessarily being happy. Like,
Yeah.
happiness is a bit of a misnomer in some cases.
Yeah. Yeah. I think happiness is a momentary feeling, right?
Can be, yeah.
And I agree with what you're saying. Like real life, talking about real life, like real life, there is no happy ending because everyone's ending is you die. So there's nothing happy about anyone
That's
dying.
a fact.
Right. And so there really isn't, anything like a happy ending. There's an ending, and there may be some good in the bad, right? A little silver lining to it somehow. But yeah,
Do
just
you think
recognizing endings are hard. Endings are not.
do you think that like this idea, because I want to say like I want to say to the people who like strive for power and strive for control and strive for like lording over others, do you think a part of that desire and that like addiction almost, right, has to do with the fact that they don't accept their own mortality? Like
Yeah.
if you would just realize that A, you shit like the rest of us.
Hmm.
I don't care if the toilet is gold or white.
That's right.
And
Yep.
you will die and end up in the ground and you will die.
Yeah.
So stop spending your whole fucking life, which is a blip in the entirety of the cosmos,
Hmm.
lording over others. It's a waste of everyone's goddamn time because you're going to die soon.
Yeah.
So just accept that and then try to live a happy, content, humble life during the time you have. Because you
Yeah.
could be the most powerful fucking person in the world with all the riches in the world. And at the end of the day, you can get hit by a bus tomorrow and then you're
Yes.
dead. And it
Yeah.
doesn't fucking matter. So give that shit up, dude. Like, let go of that shit because you're wasting everyone's time.
Yeah. I agree. I think the desire for control and is similar to the desire for certainty, right? It's a reaction to it's like a fear response to recognizing that you really don't know anything, but that's why you're desperate for certainty and you won't admit that it's a fantasy. Like you don't really know these things, but you
Mhm.
have to be certain, right? So you just tell yourself, no, I'm right. This is, inerrant and infallible and blah, blah, blah. And the same with control. Like we want control. We recognize we can't control most of our life, right? Who lives and who dies and what happens tomorrow. And so the desire for control is sort of like it's a reaction to the reality that you're actually not in control. It's saying, well, but I am going to control whatever I can, which is other people, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Who lives, who dies, who tells your story from Hamilton.
That's right. Very true.
Let's see. We got some comments here. John says it's excruciating that a lot of people in the US now are selling out a lot of people for a carrot like $5,000 check. They ain't getting no 5,000. Even if they get a $5,000 check, you ever done the math on that shit? Like whatever Doge saves allegedly,
Yeah.
$150 million taxpayers times 5,000. They ain't gonna save that much.
Is
I
it
think people
5,000? I thought they were only offering like 3,000 or something.
either
Or
way, the
2,000.
math doesn't math.
It was something ridiculous. Like you're going to sell out for a bonus that's basically an extra paycheck. That's it.
That's it.
You'll
Like
spend that in a
people are
month.
sellouts, man. Look at like people are sellouts. That's a fact. Like when you just like everything that's going on with all the corporate media and just bowing the knee and even Washington Post and blah blah blah,
Yeah,
blah
I
all
know.
these things, like you guys are just you're sellouts.
Yep.
I think the phrase is punk ass bitches
Yeah, I'm looking for the courage. I'm waiting to see people who have the courage to stand up.
or the craziness. Sometimes it
Yeah.
takes a little crazy though too. Lisa says, I'm sure it goes without saying, but make sure to keep up with world news and how they report on the US. Happiness is what we can hold tight when it comes to us. I've always been addicted to hope. Sometimes all we have is hope. Gandalf calls it a fool's hope, but it's all we have.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, hope is
There's a big difference between a little hope and no hope, and like a lot of hope and a little hope. Like there's a like there's a you know what I mean? I'm fucking up that graphic there, but like if you have a little hope compared to no hope, that's a huge difference.
yes. Yes. Yeah, and some is better than none. Even if you
Some is
don't,
better
all
than
you got
none.
is a little bit, hang on to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Again, the only hope I see right now would be our judges. The judges are standing up. Judges are saying, no, this is illegal. This is unconstitutional. No, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. But I feel like we need all that's doing is reacting to what Trump and Musk are trying to do. We need some proactive something, someone to say, let's impeach him. Let's enact what is it, the 25th Amendment. He's not fit for office. Let's take him out. You know, I want to see something. But right now, most people are just rolling over and letting it happen.
They love to kiss the ring. People love to
Yeah.
kiss the ring. John's sweet spot is a glimmer of hope. Amen to that. That's about where I'm at. Elaine, what's up, Elaine? I'm addicted to certainty, and today's political climate has thrown certainty out the window. I'm very close to retirement, and this is not a good feeling.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel you. Green did an impeachment bill, says John. Yeah, I mean, you got to fight.
Yeah.
And I think it's Al Green, right?
Al Green. Yes.
Yeah, he's a real one for sure.
He's good. He's one of the good Greens in the Congress.
He's real. AOC's real. Fucking my wife's crush. What's her name? Jasmine Crockett.
Oh, I love Jasmine Crockett, dude.
Yeah.
And what's the other one? What's his name?
There's a couple good
ones. The guy from Texas. He's a Christian.
Oh yeah, what's his name? Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy. Can't think of his name at the moment.
Ted Cruz.
No, not Ted. He's the anti-Ted Cruz. Yeah.
Governor, what's his name? Who's your governor again? What's his name?
Abbott. Greg Abbott.
Greg Abbott.
The worst.
What's crazy about? I didn't even know he was in a wheelchair.
Yes, he's in a wheelchair.
And he's trying to get rid of DEI. Do they think that DEI just has to do with black people?
Obviously, he's not. He's doesn't understand.
It shows their racism, by the way.
Yeah.
Like DEI with the hard R, but then they're in a wheelchair. It's like DEI initiatives are why you have like a ramp up to your office and not
stairs. How you get to your office every day, dumbass. Yeah.
Tellerico. Desi says Tellerico. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, James Tellerico. Thank you, Desi, for being my memory right now.
Old man Giles. Elaine says, "Lol, I have a Jasmine Crockett crush as well." Yeah,
she's amazing.
I mean, I love Jasmine Crockett, but I'm a little jealous because I think my wife crushes on her harder than me. But that's cool. Like she's doing big things, so I allow it. You know, no, she's amazing.
Can you imagine if we could somehow get Jasmine Crockett and December Rose on the same show? That would just be
if
amazing.
We could get Jasmine Crockett and December Rose running for something together.
That would be great.
If Jasmine Crockett, I would vote for her for president right now.
Yes, she could run for president. Let's do it. Absolutely.
We need like a black woman like her running shit just
and
for a while.
Vice President Rose.
And then we'll see how great it is, and then we'll be like, all right, we don't want to go back.
That's right.
As the saying goes, I don't need to say it.
We won't go back. That's right.
We won't. I don't think we would. Honestly, I don't think we would. Why would you?
Yes.
Like go back to what? Like the fucking Elon Musk and the Donald Trumps of the world? Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm really ready for black women to, especially black women, to take over. Please.
Let's see. What do we got? John Suarez, DEI are Trump's adult children. Facts. All these people too. All the Pete Hegseths of the world. Like, what business do you have as a below average white man to be running this shit? The real DEI is, and now like Trump begging for eggs.
Right.
Pull yourself up by your bootstraps, America.
Right.
Why are you asking for handouts, you socialist commie bastard? Like, come on, stick to your guns. Own your ideology, right? Like,
yes.
Lisa says it's always for me, not for thee.
Yeah.
Yep. Freedom for me, freedom of religion for me. Desi, oh man, Jasmine in December. Yeah.
That's a dream team right there.
See, to me, that's the perfect podcast. You start and you don't have to say nothing. I would just sit there and listen to them talk.
That's right.
And then I'd be like, all right, thanks for folks for listening.
Thanks for listening. That would be good. We could do like a 2-hour podcast.
And I wouldn't have to say anything, which is my favorite type of podcast. John says, Don, Eric, Ivanka. Yeah, like what are
DEI? That's your DEI right there. Don, Eric, and Ivanka.
John, did you come up with that?
No, I don't think you did. I've seen a little meme of that. It shows their pictures. Yeah, Don.
That's
Eric,
hilarious.
The real DEI.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Lisa says we need Crockett for president. That's a fact.
Oh, big time.
John says Trump approved Elon's rocket launch to offset the tanking Tesla value. You know what's wild about that whole thing? I said the other day, I said, if someone can lose $16 billion in a day, they have no business talking about kitchen table issues. What the fuck do you care
Or
about
yeah,
anything?
and so the guy that lost 16 billion in one day is the guy trying to tell everybody else how to save money, how to be more efficient. He's leading an efficiency department, which is not
Which
really a
started out,
department.
remember that it started out with Vivek Ramaswamy too. They were going to
Yes.
co-run it. It gives off the same energy. I don't know if you remember, maybe it's season 8 of The Office or maybe it's season 9, where Joe Bennett of Sabre takes over corporate, a big company takes over Dunder Mifflin, and she comes in and there's co-managers, Jim and Michael.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, we got to do something about that. 2 people running the same, two you guys
Yeah.
running one job.
Yeah.
And I just loved how there was 2 people running the Department of Efficiency.
Yes. 2 people running the Department of Efficiency.
The fuck, 2 below average dudes.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It is so crazy.
It's
living
wild.
under.
And I was talking to my wife about it yesterday. I was laughing about how it's so ironic that Elon Musk owns a company called Tesla when you know the history of Nikola Tesla and how like he's the Edison, he's the guy with,
Right.
you know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then
Yep.
it gets credited to some other dude. And then Elon comes along, doesn't found the company, isn't the brains behind it, takes
Mm.
it over and writes in their contract that he can be called the founder for some, well, you know, whatever.
Even though he's
Buys
not.
it,
Yeah, he just
and
bought
then
it from 2 other guys.
he becomes the Edison owning a company called Tesla, which is like,
That's irony, yeah.
again, we live in an alternate reality. We live in some sort of matrix. We live in some, this is a sci-fi. I get why you're into sci-fi because we've slipped into like some Black Mirror episode right now.
We really are. Oh, Black Mirror is coming back, by the way. I just saw
I
an ad.
know.
It looks great.
Yes. Can you believe it? I
I
love
love
Black
it.
Mirror.
Yeah, see, then you like sci-fi. That's a sci-fi show.
I do
You
like sci-fi. I'm just not a nerd
Yep.
like you. My wife and I watched the first episode together, which, do you remember the first episode?
Oh, the pig thing? Yeah.
And she could not get past that. I had to watch the whole fucking thing by myself after that.
Yeah, Wendy's the
That's-
same way. I think I showed her that one, and then she was like,
I
"No."
think they did that on purpose. They're like, we're gonna see who's gonna stick and who's gonna be peace out after the first episode.
Yeah.
And that first episode is it's brutal.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty.
You want to get to some of these questions? You can take these. You could read them now.
I'm not gonna do the spam ad, but let's see.
Oh, good God.
Yeah.
No.
John again says Elon is calling for a lot of judge impeachments. His genius is in credit theft. Yeah, and that's what's concerning too, right? These judges that are the only line of defense right now. He's going to go after them. And didn't he? Trump just said at the Department of Justice, gave us over an hour-long speech at the Department of Justice, and said that that like ABC, CNN, like they were MSNBC and CNN, like they were illegal. That basically saying that they should be investigated. So weaponizing the Department of Justice against the free press, like dear God,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
judges will be
protests are illegal. Protests are
Can't
illegal. The
protest.
illegal protest of Tesla. Talk about cancel
People
culture.
can buy whatever they want. I don't have to buy this product. Right?
Free market capitalism, right, my dude?
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Come on. I
gotta
thought y'all
say,
in the
though-
manosphere were all about that anarcho-capitalist bullshit.
Right. I got to say, though, I really feel sorry for these 2 astronauts that ended up, they went to this space station, like over a year ago, I think, for it was supposed to be like a 30-day, 30-day mission. They're still up there. And now they've scrubbed the 3rd mission to send a rocket up there to bring them home because they keep blowing up on the launch pad and things aren't working and stuff. Like if I was one of those astronauts up there right now, and after 3 attempts, they finally, hopefully it's only 3 attempts, maybe the 4th will work. And they finally send up a rocket to send me home after the other 3 blew up. Would I have any confidence of like, I'm going to get in this thing and come
You gonna
home?
get in that thing? Hell no.
No, I think I'm pretty much dead. I don't know, man. I feel really sorry for those 2 astronauts. I think feel like they're screwed. Although maybe they're
Country's
better
fine.
up there. Maybe they're better off just being up in the space station. Maybe you don't want to come down here. It's it's not so good.
John says Trump is an enigma. Even in victory, capitalizes on grievance, but it's still Biden's economy. I actually, I mean, I think I see what you're saying, John, that he's an enigma, but he's also as predictable as like he's like every other narcissist. So
Yeah,
someone that's an enigma is truly like Tom Bombadil. Like he's truly a one of one.
yeah,
Trump is like every other boring ass below average white dude, orange dude, whatever you want to call him.
right.
He's so like we can predict. I could tell you, you could give me 100 situations and how Trump would respond. I would get 100 out of 100 correct on how to predict how he would respond, and we all would because it's that scripted.
In other words, you and I could take over his Twitter account and his Truth Social account, and we
You
could
would
do it
never
tomorrow.
know the difference. You would
Never, you
never know
never
the
know the
difference.
difference. Yeah,
You'd know, and yeah. If you said I'll give you $1 million a day to run his Truth Social, and until
sure.
people figure out that someone else is, then that's how much money you make. And I
Yeah,
would probably we would run it ad infinitum.
6 months at least.
At least we'd be making $1 million a day every day, and no one would know. Someone else is running this. Ain't no way.
Yeah. But to your comment too, John, about supposedly this is Biden's economy. I think I don't know who it was, but God bless him. Some reporter actually did ask, when does Trump's economy begin? Because we're a month into this, and you're saying this is Biden's economy. So when will it be Trump's economy?
When
I
is it
guess
yours? When it goes
when
up.
when it goes up, if it ever goes up, but it won't.
Right.
It's not going to go up. In fact, I don't think the plan is for it to go up. I think he wants to tank the economy. And he wants people pissed off because even Republicans are pissed off, right? Republicans can't even do town halls anymore because people are screaming at them. They're so
What's with
upset.
Okay, so about those, what's with the response of them? They laugh.
Yes.
Are they just that uncomfortable? They're like, you stupid plebs. Like they'll be sitting there
Yeah.
with a microphone and people are yelling and they're just like, and JD
Yeah.
Vance will sit there and be booed and be like, hey guys, like,
Yeah.
is that just an awkward, like, I don't know how to respond response? Is that like, is it just, I don't
Yeah.
know what it is.
I
It
think they're
makes it,
scared. They don't know how to react to this
they're
because,
like,
yeah, oh crap. Yeah.
yeah, I think the conspiracy theorist in me, the one we all have, the one deep down, says Trump is purposely doing this so that eventually martial law can take over because he's going to shut down protests again. Like
Yes.
I mean, BLM was pretty big, but that's nothing in comparison to like as far as like the size and the scope of like millions of Americans revolting when there's no food.
Yeah.
Like when systems shut down because
Yeah.
they're either that inept or it's purposeful. I don't know which one's worse and which one's better. Like they're purposely doing this so that they can put the boot down on us and have an excuse to squash us.
Yeah. That's what it feels like.
That's what it feels like.
Yeah. I agree with that conspiracy theorist deep inside you. I think I have one too.
We all
Yeah,
do.
and it goes along with Project 2025 because part of Project 2025, the plan was for the president to have all the power, right, to dismantle these other
Which-
systems and to put all the
Yeah,
power in the executive branch. So
absolutely. Which hardly makes it a conspiracy theory. They basically wrote a 900-page book telling us what they're going to do. So it's
telling
like
us what,
most of
yeah,
these conspiracy theories are like weird on these like message boards on the internet or some dark corner that they're
yeah,
like, no, we're going to write a book about it and publish it,
publish it. Yeah,
and
yeah,
y'all aren't going to have anything to do about it.
yeah,
So it's not really a conspiracy theory if I tell you what I'm going to do. If I'm like, hey, on this day, I'm going to come to El Paso and punch you square in your nose, Keith. And then
yeah,
like I hire someone to drive me out there and I get there and I punch you in the face. You're like, well, here's the conspiracy is
yeah.
Matt knew he was going to do this. It's like, yeah, he told you he was going to do this. You
Of
fucking
course,
idiot.
yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, and then that's also the extra stupid thing is that they wrote 1,000-page or 900-page document. They have a website where they told you everything about it. They had videos training people on how to do this once Trump got into power, and then at the same time saying, "Oh no, we don't know anything about that." No, that's That's not real. That's not true.
Yeah.
Totally gaslight you. And then,
And they're
then
like,
when he gets
okay,
in,
okay.
he's doing it. Now
Yeah.
he's actually doing it. And very few people in the media, again, this is my frustration. Very few people in the media are connecting those dots. They should all be screaming, this is Project 2025. Like, this is
Yeah.
exactly what he said he was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
This is what he's doing.
Yep.
Because that would be educational. That would, like, people need to know what's happening and why. If they were clueless to this point, they need to know now what's happening.
Well, like John says here, the scary thing is that Dems, especially the leaders, are just doing a fetal position posture and not standing up.
Right.
They're and like I haven't watched the new Bill Burr special, and say what you want about Bill Burr, but he's right when he's like, liberals and Democrats, like, we have like been soft. We've
Mhm.
been soft, and we focused on the wrong things. Like, we really have the right is really good at organizing around something,
Yeah.
and it's not good shit. That will fall upon itself, like all things like that do, when they themselves can't afford things because they lost their Social Security, or they lost their Medicaid, or they lost their SNAP benefits, or they
Yeah.
lost whatever other program they themselves helped cut, which I told them they would as a social service coordinator a
Yeah.
couple years ago, and they didn't
Yeah.
fucking listen. So fine.
Yeah.
But they're really good at organizing and staying focused, and really, like, I totally get the when they go low, we go high.
Mhm.
I get the spirit of that, but also it makes you kind of soft. Like, now we're just sitting there like, I'm 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 literally shaking that Elon Musk did a Nazi salute. It's like, okay, great, but he did it and he's in charge. So can we fucking like stand together and deal with this shit instead of like fighting with each other and worried about
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus Christ, like, let's do something about it and quit being fucking
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm
soft.
waiting for. I'm waiting for someone to say, "Here's what we're gonna do, everybody. Let's go."
You
We
can
need
be liberal and be mean. Like, it's time to be mean sometimes. Like, I
Yeah.
know, like, my book, Don't Be a Dick, is not like, don't fight the systems of power with aggression.
Right.
It's like, don't be a dick in your community. But if you gotta be that guy, be that guy. Sometimes, like, as the kids say, be him. Jasmine
Yeah,
Crockett is him. Like,
yes.
AOC is him.
Yeah. When you are facing not literal fucking Nazis,
You
they've done
don't
Nazi
bring on
salutes?
Steve Bannon on your podcast, Gavin.
No.
You don't
That's not
platform Steve, like, fucking Gavin, read the fucking room.
Yeah. Yeah. It's exactly right. What really concerns me is that sometimes even when you see there's opposition, Democrats and stuff, what I see them doing is just trying to get they're fundraising off of this stuff, right?
I
We
know.
have to stop Trump, send your money now, blah blah blah. It's like, no, I'm not. I don't want to send you money for your campaign. Don't leverage what's happening to get more followers and get more likes and get more shares and raise campaign funds. That's not what we need right now. We need people with a plan. We're going to say, here's what we're going to do, and here's how we're going to stop this guy. We have to stop him, and it's not going to be getting more people following somebody on TikTok or
Yeah,
Instagram.
we're not stopping the fascist agenda by bringing Steve fucking Bannon on your podcast and platforming him.
No,
Like,
no.
we're not talking about back in the day where conservatives would talk to liberals
And
and
we would come to an
progressives would,
agreement. We would
and we would
understand
find
what
the
you know.
middle ground.
No,
Like,
we're beyond that.
it's so crazy that we sat there and media sat there and said for years accurately that Donald Trump is a fascist. And then now we want to break bread with him, and then why did you say he was a fascist?
Right.
Like, you don't sit there. I thought we don't negotiate with terrorists. Like, we don't negotiate with fascists.
Yeah.
But now that he's in power, you want to kiss his orange ass. That doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to me. Then you should have never called him out in the first place. You should have just treated it like a normal political disagreement.
Hmm. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, very, very sad. Like Lisa has a good comment.
Yeah, do it.
I really do not know how any of this is surprising. I'm disappointed in the Dems overall, but I'm hoping the left will grow up like Crockett and AOC. Yeah. The problem with AOC, she's been in office, I think, a little longer than Crockett, but the thing is, I mean, again, I love watching the YouTube clips and the Instagram reels from AOC and Jasmine Crockett, like clapping back and, dunking on Republicans and stuff, Marjorie Taylor Greene and stuff. I do. Yes, I love it. But that stuff doesn't move the needle, Like we need legislation. We need a coalition. Let's get all these people together and all sign something and all agree we're gonna
But then you got
stand
the Chuck
firm.
Schumers and them.
Yes. Yeah,
That's the
no.
problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. The people in power like Chuck Schumer and others who actually, they could say something, they could do something, they could start a committee, they could, put pressure. The ones with actual power and leverage, they're the ones that need to do something. And I love AOC. I love Jasmine Crockett, but I don't think they've got the sway and the pull in Congress to do more than make videos, you know what I mean? Or have a little.
But they got to
have a
keep
little,
doing it though. But they got to be real to
yes,
themselves.
please
They're
keep
doing the
doing
things
it.
they
Yes,
got to
please,
do.
someone needs to speak up. So I love that they will. Okay, you got 4 minutes. Your time starts now, and then they say something amazing, and they push back, and they expose the bullshit, and that I love it. We need to keep doing that, but that isn't. 4 years of that won't change anything. Like we need a lot more than that.
Yeah. But there's a glimmer of hope.
Yeah, a slight glimmer so far. Anyway, I'm supposed to go to take a trip to speak in Canada in November, and at this point, I don't even know if I'm going to be allowed to travel to Canada in November, or if we're going to be at war with Canada, or if I did go, if I would ever get to come back, which might not be a bad thing. Except Wendy's not coming with me, so
Well, that
I don't
wouldn't be
want to be.
good. Desi
I don't want
says
to
she
be.
agrees with
Like,
you, Keith. We need action, not just talking points, and not just
yes,
talking.
that's what I'm trying to
I
say.
agree. Yeah, we need action. We need fucking act. Like we got to stop with this whole. Stop having Steve Bannon on your podcast. Stop having
Yeah.
this. No, we got to take action. I don't. But see, the thing is, our system is set up to where what action can be done. That's
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs of politics enough to know. Like here's how you succeed. The courts, great. How far does that go? Like when someone like Elon Musk basically pays for an election with 200 and some odd million, which is like me just farting out $5 bill.
Right.
Like, what do you do? Like I mean, the people have to be knowledgeable. First of all, we have to take action
Right.
that way. We gotta come together with people in our community. We gotta be active. You got to be active with your local Congress people, with
Yeah.
your school boards, with your city boards, city councils, all that. Like it has to start on the ground up.
Yeah.
Like what people are doing right now. Get rid of
Yes.
your Tesla. Fuck Tesla.
Yeah, I love that.
Fuck it. We're not driving it, getting rid of it. If you have
Yeah.
the means to sell it, get rid of it. Turn it back, like trade it in. If you have the means, I mean, not everyone can just sell their car and get a new one. But do it. Like tank this motherfucker's free market, tank this motherfucker's stock market. Stock.
Yeah. He's
Tank
kind of
his
doing that
profits.
himself, honestly, pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think it would take very much.
I mean, if they want the free market so bad, if they want to pull yourself up by your bootstraps after us all get together and boycott your stupid, shitty cars. And they're not even great cars at this point. They like
They're
blow
not.
up,
No,
right? They just light
they're
on.
not
Like,
well
they're
made.
horrible.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nathan's asking, where are you speaking in Canada?
Well, it's not till November, so let me see if I can tell you. It's going to be what's
At that point, you'll just be traveling across state lines. So
I will. It's in let's see, Buffalo. It's around the Buffalo area. So I'll be flying into Buffalo, and then from there, Hamilton area. Not too far from Hamilton, actually, and so I'll get to see Toronto, places like that. I'll get to see, Daryl Epp is in Hamilton. So that area, Nathan, if you know where that is, that area, yes.
that's a big
When I know
country.
more, I will tell you.
It's a big country up in Canada.
Yeah. The northeast part of Canada.
In Canada, I've only been to the west, Victoria, Vancouver.
Yeah, yeah. I've never been anywhere in Canada, and
Canada, eh?
hopefully it all works out.
I
Yes,
played
because
I played hockey with guys who are from Canada, and they were fucking good.
you're sort of born playing hockey in Canada, right?
Yeah, they were born on skates, playing pond hockey. But yeah, they were really fucking good. They played hockey in Canada, and then I was in a league with them, and it was like, oh, these guys are fucking good.
Yeah.
Let's see what Lisa has to say. Good points. I'm pretty engaged in the local elected officials. It's really hard and can be discouraging at times. I mean, MTG is my district. God help you.
So sorry. Yeah.
Is it true that she auditioned for American Idol?
I don't know if that's real or AI, but I did see the video and it did look real.
It's cringy if it's real.
It was pretty bad.
Cringy.
Yeah. Or it was someone that really looked like her, put it that way.
It was bad. Karen says, too far from where I am in Alberta. Too bad. Alberta,
So
eh?
sorry.
It's a big state up there in Canada. Country.
Yeah, the
Sorry, I
51st
can't keep it straight.
state of Canada.
51st state. Could you imagine? That's like, if you don't want to be called a Nazi and Hitler, stop saying you're going to take over countries the minute you get elected into
Yeah,
office.
like Hitler did when he went after
Like
Poland.
Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck are you talking about?
and France and
We're gonna take over Greenland, Panama, and Canada. What the fuck are you talking about? No one in America was sitting there. There was never a talk. Like, imagine back when Trump was like first gonna run again and all this. We're gonna take over Canada. What the
yeah,
fuck
we're
are
gonna
you
invade
talking about?
Canada and make it the 51st
Greenland.
state.
You're out of your fucking mind.
It is pretty insane.
John says if we do fall into a dystopia, only Farmer Matt will survive it. I don't know about that.
Well, at least you got some
Where-
chickens. You got
Where our
grow your
farm
own-
is, it's pretty hard to drill your own well if you have to get water from a source like that,
You can catch rainwater.
which we're starting this year. No, if we fall into a dystopia, there has to be communities that come together. You will not
No,
make it on your own. There's
Yeah,
not going to
I-
be some like survivalist in the woods
No.
with cans of beans for the next 20 years. No, it ain't gonna. No, that ain't gonna happen.
Yeah, I just
Let's
read a really good book about that.
What was it called?
It's called The Dog Stars, and yeah, it's really good. It's a very well written, very good book, and it's about a dystopian. It's about these two guys that are surviving with a dog in an abandoned airstrip, and one of the guys is a pilot,
Mm.
and they do their best to explain how they get supplies, but the thing is, like, it's such a fantasy because, like, no one would actually be able to get everything that you needed to be totally self-sufficient.
Mhm.
There's always going to be things of like, yeah, but you don't have electricity, you don't have water, you don't, there's all these things you need to survive. And most of us are never going to be in a position where we're going to find some place secluded,
Mhm.
defensible up in the mountains somewhere that you're going to be totally okay. I agree with you about the community. I think the only way people are going to survive, it's not going to be by getting a bunch of guns and barricading themselves in their houses and shooting each
No.
other for water and eating cats and dogs. It's going to be communities that come together and say, okay, I can do this and you can do that and he can do
It
this.
will literally be the Book of Acts. You will have it
Well,
will be that.
definitely.
You will have to share all your resources. You'll have to become voluntary communists.
Yes, and you'll have to trust each other
Yeah.
and work
Or
together.
you will not survive, which is really ironic. Like
Yeah.
the individualism of America would never help you in a dystopian situation.
That's
Like
what
in a
makes me
zombie
wonder if we can
apocalypse,
do it.
you would never do it.
Yeah, it makes me wonder though if we can do it because I think it goes against the American idealist, to pull yourself up by your bootstraps, even though all these preppers and stuff like.
Yeah,
No,
they
at
couldn't
some
do it.
point,
No.
yeah, you'd have to go against that and be like, no,
Yeah.
we're going to work
No,
together.
you'd have to say, I know how to farm. There's 8 of us who do that. There's 9 of
Yeah.
us who know how to hunt. There's 4 doctors. There's seamstresses, there's people who cook, there's people who raise animals. You would have to have people with all these skill sets coming
Mhm.
together and trusting each other. That's the only way. I learned that from The Last of Us. Go to Jackson, Wyoming. The only way they survive in that without, infighting and this, you have to, of course, humans are humans though.
Mhm.
Even that little semblance of power, like, man, just it's the same premise. A narcissist could rise to the top of that community and it could turn from a community to a cult.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the scary thing too, how easy it
Humans
could
are humans.
yeah. Someone sees something working together as a community, and they're like, "Oh, you need leadership," I know,
You need leadership, and that's the ring being offered to you, and you're like, "I'll take it. I'll do good for it or with it."
yeah, that's right. Yeah, Timothy Singestru says, "The only way people survive anything is together." Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right. I love this comment here, John. I just read a book and Paul became a little more likable.
yeah.
What book was
That
that?
book is Reading Romans Right. There it is. Available
There
on
it is.
Tuesday. Coming on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Please, everybody, go and wait till Tuesday and then buy a copy. Buy 2 copies, one for yourself and one for your favorite pastor or Bible teacher.
Yeah, send it to Pastor Masters.
Pastor Masters needs a box of these.
Yeah, Timothy, got to go. I listened to the pod. Well, good. I hope everyone listens to the pod. We got to go too. We're up at the hour.
Yeah.
And this Tuesday, folks, Reading Romans Right, pick it up. If you follow Keith and myself, we'll be sharing it on social media, giving you reminders. And all shout out to everyone on our launch team, including John and others.
Yeah.
Shout out for the reviews that they're gonna give us, and
Yeah.
shout out to anyone who listens to this show. Make sure you tell a friend. Tell a friend
David,
to subscribe to the pod.
And by the way, Reading Romans Right, David Bentley Hart approved.
Yes.
Got
I
that
was
sealed
nervous.
approval.
I
David Bentley Hart.
I told y'all I was nervous, and it was good that I didn't need to be nervous. What was I nervous about?
Oh, come on. He loves us.
Come on. He loves us, and he's always so warm and cozy.
See, like I wouldn't send. So John says to send a copy to Trump. I wouldn't send. What I wouldn't bother to send one to
Trump
Trump.
doesn't read. He doesn't even.
But I
He has
would
to have
send one.
one-page memos.
Yeah, but sending one to Mike Johnson because he is a Christian and he's interested in these kind of things. I would imagine. People like him do need to have a wake-up call. Like the Romans is not what you think it is. Oh, look at this. Somebody says, Lynette says, I want to hear more from Pastor Master. Well, all right then. Who is Pastor Master? Pastor Master he's an amalgam of all conservative, evangelical, Christian pastors in America. He is the voice of all of them.
The voice of Pastor Masters.
That's Pastor Masters.
Yeah, Nathan, the book was fantastic. Thanks for writing this. Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
KD agrees. We'll get to the last one. Brett, DEI, the rugged individual concept isn't what built the United States. It was community and shared interest. Yeah, the rugged individualist. Sure, there's always that guy who can live in the fucking woods his whole life.
Yeah.
But a society not built by that. No. Thank you, and can't wait till Tuesday. Love y'all. Love y'all too, Lisa. Thank you, Lynette, Lisa, Brett, Katie, Nathan, Timothy, Karen, John, everyone else. Keith, thank you. Thank you for writing this book with me. It was fun.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. It was one of the most fun things I've ever done, and very excited for this book.
Yeah. Well, this is my 14th co-authored or authored book.
Yeah, so you've done way more co-authoring than I have. This is only my first co-authored book. But I think between us, we've got about the same.
It's wild to think. Like I've written 14 books. It's pretty cool.
It is crazy. I never thought I would ever have written this many books, and I've got more on the board over here that I'm working on. So,
if you could only find a publisher.
Yeah. Well, I'm working on it.
Someday.
Someday. Yeah.
Someday. All right. We'll see y'all. Thanks. 530-332-8020. Hit us up on the hotline.
All right. Love you guys. Take care.
Yeah. Peace out.